is currently reading his first edition copy of A Clash of Kings with slight damage, so that is why it's conveniently placed in frame. Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, welcome back. So, as we all know, I have been way too obsessed with A Song of Ice and Fire for the past year and a half now. But what you may not know is that one of my favorite characters is Cersei. She is so funny, her chapters are hilarious. She experiences the whole range of human emotions and experiences, one of those being a lesbian situationship. So, which is why today we are talking about why Cersei, which is why today we are discussing Cersei Lannister being a lesbian. And if you disagree, you can argue with the wall. First of all, I have to give a few disclaimers. So, disclaimer, all of these are my own personal opinions about this specific character. This is how I personally interpret this fictional character, okay? None of these opinions reflect how I feel about real, actual people. And just so I can be perfectly clear, I think that bisexuality exists, I think that bisexuals exist, and I think that the authorial intent is that Cersei Lannister is bisexual in the book. Is that how I interpret her? No. But here we are. This is mainly about book Cersei, but I low-key do feel this way about show Cersei. I think would make show Cersei more interesting. In season 5, 6, 7, and 8, she has nothing to do, and I think having a little lesbian arc would have improved her storyline. So spoilers for the books and the show. We're mainly talking about A Feast for Crows, and I'm not seeking for my mind to be changed. I do acknowledge that Cersei is bisexual in the books. The only character I think that George Martin is 100% wrong about is Asha Greyjoy, because how are you gonna make the pixie cut pirate queen character canonically straight? That's crazy. Anyway, so I think first and foremost we have to talk about the elephant in the room, that being Jaime Lannister. And I hear you already in the comments saying, hey, isn't this the one relationship that she has with a man that's not forced on her, or she isn't using the man for her own advantage, for her political gain? And the thing is, yes, I agree. Yeah. However, I think it's very important to point out that Jaime and Cersei famously look identical. I know that's literally not possible for fraternal twins. However, this is not real life, and George Martin is famously not a genetic expert. You're telling me that every Baratheon for the past 20 generations has been black of hair? Okay, whatever. So Cersei and Jaime famously look exactly alike. They looked identical as children. They pretend to be each other. Cersei talks all the time about how they would switch places and how she didn't really understand why people were treating Jaime differently than her. And I'm you're attracted to your brother who looks exactly like you. Is that not a little... I don't know. And I think it's also important to point out that, guys, Cersei is famously a narcissist. As much as I love Cersei, she is full of herself. She thinks she's the second coming of Tywin Lannister. Girl, you think Tyrion's in the walls. So she views Jaime as an extension of herself. AKA, that's her. Cersei would love nothing more than a clone of herself. Guys, let's be real. And lots of people are oh, I think that Cersei only loves children as an extension of herself. I don't think that's true. Maybe to a certain extent, but it's definitely not to the extent that the way that she loves Jaime. So the thing about Cersei is that she's low-key non-binary, but she doesn't really have time to think about that right now. So she projects a lot of that onto Jaime, and we'll kind of talk about her relationship with gender in relation to Jaime, especially later on. And I hear you saying, okay, fine, whatever. What about the rest of her relationships that she has with men? Well, so here are her other male lovers and prospects in the books. We're gonna be going one by one and talking about why those don't count, basically. So Rhaegar Targaryen, famously very beautiful, famously very elegant. So when Cersei was like 9 or 10, Tywin tried to get her engaged to Rhaegar, and you know, he was hyping Cersei up for all this, and she was so excited. She was like throwing them together on Dragonback. It was really cute. And then Aerys was like, no, I'm not engaging my servant to the crown prince. Which, mind you, technically everyone in the realm is a servant of you. So I think he was just being a hater. So Cersei has always like kind of been a little infatuated with Rhaegar. She even says like the wrong man came back from the Trident, which is crazy work. She always like talks about how elegant and how beautiful, and everyone talks about him like that. He's never like handsome or rugged like Robert. I think she's mostly infatuated with him for the life that he represents, for the life that she could have had. And she also famously wants to be queen. She wants to rule the realm. She dreamt that she was on the Iron Throne high above them all. Famously, that's the words for her first chapter. She just wants the political power that comes with being a Targaryen. I think that if her betrothal to Rhaegar was successful, that she'd be a Valyria boo. And I do stand by that. Next up we have Robert. Famously hates Robert. Orchestrated to have him killed, and it's a forced political marriage. Like, she literally avoided all that she could from like being impregnated by him, you know? So next up, Lancel. The only reason why she hooks up with Lancel is because he looks like Jaime. Need I say more? You know, we already talked about Jaime. So, Willis Tyrell. If you haven't read the books or interacted with the books at all, Willis Tyrell is the heir to Highgarden. He wasn't in the show. That's why she was engaged to Loras. And he was like part of a group that Tywin was like, you can get engaged to like any of these people, you just need to get remarried and stuff like that. And of course Cersei like wasn't gonna follow through. We're gonna talk about it in a second. Mace Tyrell, he was like, yeah, that's like such a good idea, we're gonna like unite our families even more, yay yay yay. And then Olenna Tyrell was like, absolutely not, my grandson is not getting married to that horrible woman. So yeah, it was forced and it was rejected. So we can't really count it. So allegedly, well, confirmed from one of them, I'm not so sure about the other ones, that Cersei was like having an affair with the Kettle Blacks to just like extort them for information, mainly about Marjorie, because it's a whole thing with Marjorie. She's like using her sexuality to manipulate them, and then when she confesses like all of her crimes and stuff to the High Sparrow, she says, I took no pleasure in it. So pretty cut and dry there. So next up, Oren Waters. Oren Waters is the Lord of the Tides. I think he's like the Lord of Driftmark, and that might not be true. He's a Valyrian bastard. The main thing that Cersei has to say about him is that he looks like Rhaegar. The second that he does something that Cersei doesn't like, she's like, he doesn't look like Rhaegar at all. And she instantly is no longer attracted to him. And we already know what I said about Rhaegar, so. Balon Greyjoy, Theon Greyjoy, Quentyn and Oberyn Martell and the Redwyne twins are all proposed matches that Tywin made to Cersei, like I said a second ago, with Willis. And of course, she has no intention to follow through. I just think it would be really funny if they did go through with engaging Cersei to Theon. What an insane match, right? That is crazy. As for her male lovers in the show, so first of all, Euron Greyjoy, she just needs him for the fleet. Let's be so real. And she also needs an heir. I can't remember for the life of me if like she was pregnant with Euron's baby or if she was pregnant with Jaime's baby. I can't remember. And I don't care to remember because I'm not rewatching those last seasons. You can't make me. So like I said with the like Willis stuff, Loras is basically the like insert show version of Willis in terms of that. They cut out Willis and they gave his stuff to Loras, but I'm like kind of confused about it because like Loras at this point was on the Kingsguard, I want to say, and he couldn't inherit titles, he couldn't get married, but either way the betrothal like went through, but of course she had no intention to follow through, and she also killed him. And with this and Willis's like the betrothal, if she played the long game, she would have been the Lady Paramount of the Westerlands, because you know Jaime, he can inherit titles, and Tyrion, like, people either think he's dead or he's missing. And she also would have been the Lady of the Reach. She would have had so much political power, and she's also the Queen Dowager and the Queen Regent at this point. So it's like, girl, if you played the long game, you would have gotten like everything you wanted. Anyway, we've talked all about her male lovers. However, what about her female lover? Yeah, you heard that right. Her female lover. Okay, let's go. So Taena Merryweather is a lady from the Reach. She's like this minor noble from the Reach, and she came to King's Landing as part of like Marjorie's entourage, and she was a lady in waiting. Now she's like Cersei's like premier lady in waiting / bedmaid. They literally have gay sex multiple times, and I'm like, whoa. There are so many lines about how hot Cersei finds Taena. It's ridiculous and also kind of funny. And then she'll be like, but I'm not gay. So here are a few lines. I think the first one is from like the first time that Cersei meets Marjorie at Tommen and Marjorie's wedding feast. The bearish woman was too beautiful by half, long-legged and full-breasted, with smooth olive skin, ripe lips, huge dark eyes, and thick black hair that always looked as if she'd just come from bed. She even smells of sin, like some exotic lotus. This might be from like Cersei chapter 7. Cersei wondered what it would feel like to kiss another woman, not lightly on the cheek as was common courtesy amongst ladies of high birth, but full upon the lips. Taena's lips were very full. So to all of that I have to say, Cersei, I know what you are. Let's be serious with ourselves for a second. So you may be saying, okay, but doesn't Cersei literally say that she finds no pleasure in her encounters with Taena? And to that I have to say, yeah, but like, let's put on our thinking caps for a second, okay? She is just like straight up in denial about all of this. She's like, guys, this isn't real, it doesn't count, she can't get me pregnant. It's like, guys, I'm using this as a farce. I'm using Taena to get information about Marjorie. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm manipulating her. Second off, Cersei, you're the one that initiates. In every single scene, you're the one that initiates. And last but not least, she projects her attraction to women onto Taena. She's like, guys, Taena is like so obsessed with me. Oh my god, she's so obsessed with me. Oh my god. Taena is just using her. She's known this the whole time. She knows that Taena's using her. She's like, yeah, Taena's like using me to get like information from Marjorie, and I'm using Taena back. But like, let's make her my lady in waiting. Let's make her my bedmate. Let's take baths with her. Let's have sex with her. Like, girl, if the woman besotted her, the woman being Taena, besotted meaning infatuated, girl, you're talking about yourself. I'd like to point out that her relationship with Taena directly mirrors her relationship with the Kettle Blacks, and the Kettle Blacks 100% believe that Cersei is actually like in love with them. So I need us to be like real for a second. Cersei, I know exactly what you are. You're besotted with her. Anyway, so this is all about book Cersei, and you know, I said that I'd mention show Cersei. So what about show Cersei? Okay, Marjorie. And I know you're thinking to yourself, Marjorie? she doesn't have any kind of romantic relationship with Marjorie in the show. And to that I say, you're right. This is like such like beyond a stretch. But in my personal and professional opinion, Marjorie and Taena were combined for the sake of the show. Taena's not in the show because D&D are cowards and they hate fun and they hate women. But like Marjorie is like this scheming like political person who is like that. Taena. So Cersei and gender. So Cersei, like I said, wants to be Jaime so bad, and she says, if I were a man, I could rule this realm in my own name in place of Tommen's. She wants the power that comes with being a man. She wants to be free of the constraints of misogynistic society around her. She also low-key wants to perpetuate that system. Cersei's not a feminist. She's a feminist character. She herself is not a feminist. She wants the feudal society in place. She wants to use it to her advantage because, you know, she wants to be queen. She doesn't care about the small folk. Like I said, she wants the power that comes along with being a man. She wants to be a knight. Taena asks her, would it please you to be a man for a night? And Cersei replies, she would be a man. Taena remained a woman. Cersei also says, oh, this is what Taena wants me to say, so I'm gonna say it. And as we have established, denial is a river in Egypt. But she is like attempting to assign heterosexual gender roles to the relationship to justify its existence. She's like, I'm the man of the relationship. I'm this. I'm that. Girl, whatever you say, Cersei. What's up, you guys? Yes, so it turns out that I actually forgot to say my thesis statement for this entire slide. So here we are now. I'm gonna read it from here. This is the main point of this slide and I forgot to include it. Oftentimes, lesbians have a complex relationship with their gender and femininity to societal expectations forced upon them as women. Women is a generalization. Lesbianism is a subversion of those expectations and acts as a vessel to break free from them. So basically what I mean is that, guys, Cersei's a lesbian. I mean, I just said it, so there you have it. Okay, back to the video. And the age-old question, is she a lesbian or is she trans? I think she's a lesbian. You can think she's trans, that's okay with me. In conclusion, Cersei is a lesbian. Her male relationships don't count. Her relationship with Jaime is a lesbian relationship. As far as I'm concerned, Cersei Taena Rise, Cersei Taena Pride, Cersei Taena Canon, but not Endgame, because she books it the second that Cersei is in prison. Show Cersei Marjorie, I mourn for you. What could have been? We could have had it all. And then all the Cersei Marjorie fics, like most of them are like for the book versions of the characters. And I feel so uncomfortable because it's like, haha, Marjorie, you're 16. And I'm like, what? 16? I'm not here for that. Anyway, and Cersei's probably non-binary, but they don't really have time to think about that right now. Thank you for coming to my presentation. I hope you really liked it. Like I said, I'm not here for my mind to be changed. I don't care if you don't think that Cersei's a lesbian. You can say that. I won't say no to the engagement, but like you coming down in my comments being like, what about Jaime? What about this? What about that? I already talked about that. If you think Cersei's a lesbian, cool. If you think she's bisexual, cool. If you think she's straight, that is objectively wrong. So if you enjoyed the video, please let me know. If you'd like more like PowerPoint style videos, please let me know. I had a really fun time making this. And it was like very quick and easy. I think about Cersei all the time. I think about this specifically all the time. I think about Taena all the time, and I legitimately think about Cersei and Marjorie's relationship in the show all the time and how they fumbled the bag so hard. Anyway, if you want to hear more of my Game of Thrones opinions, please tell me. I have so many of them. If you want to hear me talk more about gay people in Game of Thrones, check out this video. Very cool and normal. It's award-winning, so many views. But if you want to hear more from me in general, please like, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later. Bye.